AirTags from Apple, $29. An easy buy, right? Well, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to see the other side of that coin.
Khuladak, we are DHRME, Deadly Heuristic Reviews for Mental Ease.
Let's start off with what AirTags are meant for. They're meant for tracking stuff, not children or pets. So do not buy an AirTag to track your kid or pet. Apple recommends instead to get an Apple Watch to help with that. And it makes sense. It's a simple and elegant solution generating hundreds of dollars of revenue for Apple in the process. They're counting on your kids being worth it. And hey, while you're at it, get an Apple Watch for your dog because courage.
So there are a couple of privacy and security concerns here. If you don't give a crap about AirTags, Apple still uses your iPhone to keep track of all AirTags in the world, or at least in your immediate vicinity. Your alternative is to opt out of the Find My program, but then you lose your ability to find your other Apple stuff as well. So it is kind of a forced opt-in. More importantly, in case of malicious use where people use AirTags to follow others, Apple says iPhone users will be notified that an AirTag is following them. And in case you don't have an iPhone, the AirTag will emit a loud sound. The question, of course, is how loud? What if the environment is even louder? Or if the AirTag speaker is disabled? Or it's near a deaf headphone reviewer? And what happens in cases where someone tries to track a person who doesn't have a smartphone at all? Yeah, those exist. And there are other concerns. What happens if there's a security breach? But even worse, what happens if Apple's management changes and their policies change? Look, privacy is a complex discussion, and we wonder if the first generation of such a product will cover all the edge cases successfully.
Another question which we as consumers need to think about is Apple abusing its position as a big company? We'll stop short of using the word monopoly, but think about it. They use all the iPhones in the world to keep track of AirTags. No small company can create a product like this. A smaller company would need to create an app, have to ask you to opt in, and can still be killed by Apple by saying they don't adhere to our privacy concerns. With Apple, they just use every iPhone in the world without really needing to ask. Another way they're making use of their market leadership is by requiring you to buy third-party accessories with a simple design trick. They didn't make a hole in the tag. So you have to get another holder to keep your AirTags in. And while we're at it, what happens if you like the shiny new Android phone that comes out next year? After iMessage, we think this is the stickiest Apple product they've come up with to keep you in their ecosystem. Because you will end up using AirTags for products that are not even from Apple. Think about your luggage, keys, or Chromebooks. You can't use Android to configure AirTags, not yet at least. At least with AirPods, there's an argument to be made that you can use them with any Bluetooth-enabled device.
If you want to call hosh on Apple's walled garden, then you're out of luck. When ordering an AirTag, although you can get it inscribed with free text and some emojis, you cannot get it inscribed with the horse emoji followed by the poop emoji. Next best thing, the unicorn and poop emoji. We at DHRME like to think in terms of solutions. Hey, we didn't say all reasons were perfect. Please don't unsubscribe.
So quickly moving along. Will AirTags really be the solution for lost items in the future, since Apple has announced an expansion of their Find My program to third-party device manufacturers such as Funmove, a smart bicycle company from Holland, Belkin, or a similar tracker company called Chipolo? The last one is interesting because what's the added value of an AirTag if similar tags are made by another company already? It could possibly be the ultra-wideband technology for precision finding, and considering Moore's law, it may not be long before these trackers can be built into the tiniest of crevices.
Speaking of third-party manufacturers and anti-competitive behavior, what will happen to the likes of companies like Tile who have been creating tracking tech for a while now? Either they get allowed onto the Find My program similar to Chipolo and manufacture trackers which are Find My compatible, or they're left to fend for themselves without the massive device network that Apple has at their disposal. And you could argue that companies like Tile add value to Android users, but it now begs the question, with Samsung already into the tracking game, will it take long for Google to release a Nest tag?
Before AliExpress is flooded with a gazillion different kinds of trackers, let's not forget the environment in all of this. Because if these tags get built into devices in the future, then you'll be left with a few plastic pucks just sitting there contributing to e-waste. So choosing the lesser of the evils, a paper baggage tag might be a more responsible choice. And hey, it's free and kinda gets the job done as well.
And besides, the AirTags seem almost as fragile as paper. Have you seen how easily they start to scratch? Now we are just scratching the surface when it comes to trackers and the larger Internet of Things space, so there will be a lot more to come. And if you appreciate us on this channel helping you with your purchase decision, then consider hitting that Patreon link in the description down below and start supporting us so we can continue making more free content like this without having to rely on that unpredictable advertising revenue.
But if your income is quite the opposite, then let us leave you with these overpriced Hermes puck holders.
Your tags have been up in the air.
And we've been DHRME. Namaste.